Episode 7 of Agatha All Along is starting to turn up a little bit on a high note, especially in comparison to the past few episodes. Before on this channel, we have stated that we aren't a huge fan of the trials as they seem to just be forced conflict instead of giving us some more natural storytelling and just a good story flow, but I think this episode and this trial may certainly be the exception here. I enjoyed a lot of this episode. There is one thing I did not enjoy. I'll get into it in a few minutes, but overall, the cinematography of this episode was pretty great, actually. I still like how, for a lot of this show, they're focusing a lot more on practical effects over CGI, especially with a show that's about witches and magic. And a lot of modern times shows and movies just rely so heavily on it that it's really nice to see. And the cinematography here really points it out, and it does a really good job in portraying the story of Lilia, who is the witch who's been able to see the future so far. And if you've seen any of the past episodes, it explains quite a bit about her character and gives her a bit of development that was very much needed. Earlier in the series, I said that this show does have great character development potential, and this episode is starting to prove me right about that, so I am very happy to see that. I do enjoy the story that they told. I think it was definitely needed. I think upon rewatching the show, it will further add upon that. So I'm happy that this show is hopefully starting to have a bit of a redemption here. We do have one more week where we have 2 more episodes, so I am very excited to get a conclusion to it. However, the thing I do not like about this episode, as we all know, Marvel is owned by Disney. And I don't like all the Disney references in this episode. I think it was a little bit too much, a little bit too in your face with it. Disney's has a lot of powerful witches, and I didn't need all the characters to be dressed up as different Disney characters. They're not all different Disney, but a majority of them are. It's just it felt a little out of place. The theming I felt like just wasn't really there like we had in the previous trials. Sadly, we did have the answer to the castle. It's not what we wanted, but 2 more episodes. I am hoping to get a satisfying conclusion. We did get confirmed who Aubrey Plaza's playing, but we've kind of known that for a few weeks, and if that is the entire purpose of the show, hopefully she plays a bigger role in the MCU than what we were thinking, because it's pretty minor. So I'm hoping these 2 episodes are going to blow us away. I mean, considering they're doing a 2-part finale in 1 week, usually they have a cliffhanger second to last episode, and they conclude in the next one. So I'm kind of inclined to believe that the next episode isn't going to be that great. Hope to be wrong. I really do hope this show turns around, but it may be too little too late for a lot of people. A few things I do hope for in the finale, because again, I mean, we knew we were going to get Kang probably in like the next episode, and then episode 9, very similar to like what it did Loki season 1. But now that's been recast and reshot, I'm still hopeful that we get Doom, because again, this still does feel a lot like the Children's Crusade, especially in this episode where they did talk about the fate of the Scarlet Witch. It still mirrors it pretty well, but I think what's more likely than that, especially with the character they are setting up to be the focus of the next episode, I think Mephisto is the most likely candidate due to him being name dropped a couple of times. And I mean, who else can Agatha make a deal with to get the Darkhold besides Mephisto? I mean, it makes sense. And while Aubrey Plaza's character has been teased of being like a big reveal, I kind of feel like it's a red herring considering all of the hints since episode 1. And Death is a pretty long-standing character that from the first moment has really not been against any of them. She kind of had this flirtatious, dangerous thing with Agatha, but I don't think she really ever intends to hurt her. I don't feel like it's going to happen. We have the Salem 7, which has just kind of been around, but considering they haven't really gone too much into them except for in WandaVision, I think more of a big name like Mephisto or Doctor Doom is more likely to seal the deal, especially since that will get people to watch the show, just like what happened with Daredevil and She-Hulk. This is just speculation, but I feel like that will definitely get a lot more people watching, especially if they have RDJ, even for like 5 seconds. People will watch it. People lost their shit when he was announced, even if we may not like the casting. People cheered. People loved it. They were in the moment and they were excited for it. I still don't like the casting, but I think he's going to do a tremendous job. And they need to start setting him up somewhere, and he still fits in this storyline pretty well. I really hope these last 2 episodes go well. It's just. I am hoping for something big. I know I hoped for something big with WandaVision as well, and I was disappointed there. I think, again, with rewatching it did perfectly fine. It's just. This show kind of lacked a bit in the middle, and I really want it to end strong. We need this big reveal. I think we're owed it, and I know a lot of people, not necessarily on this channel, have enjoyed it, but a big name drop because we've been getting teased. I can feel it. I really hope I'm right, but I'm still keeping my expectations low just because Marvel's been hit or miss, and especially with this being a continuation of WandaVision, where the director was teasing things coincidentally to characters they didn't even know existed. I don't want to let myself get too excited. It's just a possibility. Possibilities are great, but hope can also be really painful. We'll see how it goes, though. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, go check out our Who Would Win of Doctor Doom versus Apocalypse, where surprisingly these two Marvel characters have never clashed in the comics, and it's a really fun debate, and it may surprise you with who you think wins.